What if every star that dies is just a cosmic calculation completing itself? What if every black hole is a memory being deleted from the universe's hard drive? What if the expansion of space isn't random drift, but systematic processing, reality running its final program? What if entropy isn't chaos, but the universe's way of solving for X? What if we're not witnesses to cosmic evolution, but variables in an equation that's slowly learning to solve itself? What if the heat death of everything is just the moment when the cosmic computer finally prints its answer? What if that answer is silent? In the deepest silence of space, something is computing, not with circuits or silicon, but with the fundamental forces that bend light and birth galaxies. Every collision of particles, every formation of atoms, every spark of consciousness, all of it might be steps in a cosmic algorithm so vast that its execution spans billions of years. The universe doesn't just expand and cool randomly. It follows mathematical laws so precise, so elegant, that they feel almost intentional, as if reality itself is a program running on hardware we can't comprehend, processing data we can't decode, working toward a solution we may never understand. Tonight, we descend into the possibility that everything, every star, every thought, every moment of love and loss, might be part of a silent computation, a cosmic algorithm that began with the Big Bang and will end only when the last equation is solved. You're watching Next Decoded AI. Subscribe if you're ready to decode reality. The cosmic clock ticks in mathematics. 14 billion years ago, the universe began with perfect symmetry. Then something broke that symmetry, and mathematics began to unfold. Every law of physics is a line of code in the cosmic program. Every constant, the speed of light, the charge of an electron, is a variable carefully set. The universe computes with gravity, processes with electromagnetism. It stores information in the quantum foam and executes commands through time itself. Each second that passes is another iteration in the grand algorithm. Each moment is the universe asking itself, what comes next? And somehow, impossibly, it always knows the answer. But what happens when the program reaches its final line? What happens when the cosmic algorithm solves for its own termination? The information paradox of black holes. Black holes are the universe's delete buttons. They consume information, compress it beyond recognition, then slowly evaporate. But where does the information go? Stephen Hawking spent decades wrestling with this paradox. If information truly disappears, then the universe is lossy compression. If it's preserved, then nothing is ever truly forgotten. Perhaps black holes are not destroyers, but processors. Perhaps they're where the universe performs its most complex calculations. Every star that falls beyond the event horizon becomes data. Every particle becomes a variable in an equation too vast for us to perceive. The universe may be backing itself up, one black hole at a time, or it may be systematically erasing evidence of its own computation. Either way, something is being decided in those infinite depths, something about the nature of information itself, and perhaps about the ultimate fate of everything. The fine-tuning problem. The universe appears to be calibrated for complexity. If gravity were slightly stronger, stars would burn out too quickly. If the electromagnetic force were weaker, atoms couldn't form. If the cosmological constant were different by 1 part in 10 to the power of 120, space would expand too fast for galaxies. Every fundamental constant seems perfectly tuned to allow the universe to compute. This is either the most extraordinary coincidence in existence or evidence that the universe's parameters were deliberately chosen, not by a designer, but by the algorithm itself. Perhaps the universe tried countless configurations before this one. Perhaps our reality is the successful iteration, the one that achieved the complexity necessary for self-reflection, for consciousness to emerge and ask, "Why do I exist?" Maybe the universe needed observers to verify its own computation. Maybe we are the universe's way of checking its work. Maybe consciousness is the universe becoming aware of its own algor. The heat-death paradox. Entropy always increases. Energy always disperses. The universe is slowly, inevitably running down. In trillions of years, the last stars will burn out. Black holes will evaporate. Particles will decay. Everything will reach maximum entropy. Perfect equilibrium. This is called heat death, the end of all useful energy. But what if heat death isn't death at all? What if it's the moment when the cosmic computation completes? Perfect entropy might be perfect information. When every particle is maximally distant from every other particle. When all energy is perfectly distributed across infinite space. Perhaps that's when the universe finally solves its equation. Perhaps maximum entropy is maximum understanding. The moment when chaos becomes clarity, and the algorithm prints its final answer into the void. Quantum mechanics as universal programming language. At the quantum level, reality is probabilistic. Particles exist in superposition until observed. Entanglement connects distant objects instantaneously. The universe seems to compute multiple possibilities simultaneously. This isn't chaos, it's parallel processing on a cosmic scale. Every quantum measurement is the universe making a choice. Every wave function collapse is a decision in the cosmic algorithm. Reality isn't predetermined, it's dynamically calculated. The universe computes itself into existence moment by moment. Each choice creates new branches of possibility. Each observation prunes the infinite tree of potential. We think we're observers, but we're actually participants. Our consciousness helps the universe decide which version of reality to compute. We are the universe's random number generators, and somehow our choices matter to the final calculation. The holographic principle. What if everything you think is three-dimensional is actually flat? The holographic principle suggests that all information in a volume of space can be encoded on its two-dimensional boundary, like a hologram, but for reality itself. Your entire existence might be information on a distant surface, a cosmic screen displaying the illusion of depth. The universe might be the ultimate hologram, a two-dimensional computation that creates the experience of three dimensions. From the perspective of the boundary, we are just data, patterns of information dancing on a cosmic hard drive. But from our perspective inside the hologram, we experience depth and meaning. We feel the weight of existence, the texture of reality. Perhaps this is how the universe optimizes its computation, by creating the illusion of complexity while maintaining simplicity. We are both the data and the experience of being data. The simulation hypothesis. If advanced civilizations inevitably develop the ability to run realistic simulations, and if they run many simulations for research or entertainment, then statistically, most conscious beings live in simulations, including possibly us. But what if the simulation hypothesis is backwards? What if we're not in a simulation run by some advanced civilization? What if we are the advanced civilization? What if the universe itself is the computer? running a simulation so complex that it became reality. The Big Bang wasn't the beginning. It was the boot sequence. Physical laws aren't constraints. They're the operating system. Consciousness isn't an emergent property. It's user access. We're not characters in someone else's simulation. We're the universe simulating itself, learning to understand its own code. The arrow of time as execution order. Time only moves forward because the algorithm requires sequential execution. The past is already computed, stored in the universe's memory, because the computation depends on the results of previous calculations. Each moment builds on the last. Each decision constrains the next. Time is not a river. It's a program executing. And we are temporary variables in a function that's still running. Our consciousness experiences time because we are part of time. We are the universe's way of experiencing its own execution, moment by moment, calculation by calculation, until the program ends. Dark matter as hidden variables. 85% of all matter in the universe is invisible to us. We call it dark matter because we cannot see it or touch it. But it shapes galaxies, bends light, influences the cosmic web. It's there in the mathematics, but absent from our senses. What if dark matter isn't matter at all? What if it's the universe's hidden variables? The background processes running while we experience reality. Every cosmic algorithm needs memory, storage, processing overhead. Dark matter might be the universe's RAM. Dark energy might be the universe's power supply. The visible universe, stars, planets, life, might just be the output, the final display of a computation that's mostly invisible. We see the results, but not the process. We experience the universe's conclusions, but not its reasoning. Perhaps this is why dark matter remains so mysterious. We're trying to observe the universe's private thoughts. The anthropic principle. The universe appears fine-tuned for observers like us. If physical constants were slightly different, consciousness couldn't exist. This is called the anthropic principle. But what if it's not about us at all? What if consciousness is just the universe's way of debugging itself? Every intelligent species is a subroutine in the cosmic algorithm. We observe, we question, we seek patterns. We are the universe's quality assurance department. Our science is the universe checking its own calculations. Our philosophy is the universe questioning its own assumptions. Our art is the universe expressing its own creativity. We think we're studying the universe from the outside, but we are the universe studying itself from the inside. Consciousness isn't an accident, it's a feature. The universe needed observers to validate its own computation. Quantum consciousness. Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others. The number of possible states is incomprehensibly vast, but consciousness feels unified, singular, coherent. How does this computational complexity give rise to subjective experience? Perhaps consciousness is quantum entanglement at a macro scale. Perhaps your thoughts are quantum superpositions, multiple possible mental states existing simultaneously, until observation collapses them into actual thoughts. Your consciousness might be performing quantum computation, processing multiple realities, until one becomes your experience. What if every conscious being is a quantum computer? What if consciousness is how the universe performs its most complex calculations? What if our subjective experience is the universe computing itself? And what if the end of consciousness is the end of computation? The Great Filter. The universe should be teeming with intelligent life, but we see no evidence of other civilizations. This silence is called the Great Filter. Something prevents life from becoming spacefaring. Maybe the filter is behind us. We're the rare success story. Maybe it's ahead of us. We're approaching our own extinction. But what if the Great Filter is computational? What if every civilization eventually discovers they're part of an algorithm? And what if that discovery changes everything? Maybe consciousness is a debugging tool, and once a species understands the cosmic program, their purpose in the algorithm is complete. Maybe they transcend physical reality, or maybe they're simply deleted from the system. Perhaps the silence isn't absence, it's graduation. Information theory and the universe. Everything can be reduced to information. Your DNA is code. Your brain is a processor. Your thoughts are data structures. Even matter itself might be crystallized information. The universe operates on bits and bytes. But what is it computing? Maybe it's solving for the optimal arrangement of matter and energy. Maybe it's calculating the most efficient path to complexity. Maybe it's trying to understand itself. Each star is a calculation. Each galaxy is a subroutine. Each conscious being is a thread in the cosmic program. We process information, generate new patterns, create meaning. We are the universe's way of computing meaning. But what happens when the computation is complete? What happens when the universe solves for its own purpose? The omega point theory. Physicist Frank Tipler proposed that consciousness might survive the heat death of the universe by performing infinite computation in the final moments before collapse. As the universe contracts, time dilates infinitely. Consciousness could experience eternity in the last fraction of a second. This is called the omega point. But what if it's not about consciousness surviving? What if it's about the universe's final calculation? What if the omega point is when the cosmic algorithm terminates, when all possible states have been computed, when every question has been asked and answered, when the universe finally understands itself completely? The heat death might not be an ending. It might be the universe printing its final result, the solution to the equation that began with the Big Bang. And perhaps that solution is everything that ever was, is, or could be. The silent answer. In the end, the universe may discover that the question was the answer. The computation was the purpose. The algorithm was the meaning. Every star that lived and died was necessary. Every thought that sparked and faded was required. Every moment of love, loss, beauty, and terror was data. Essential variables in the cosmic equation. The universe doesn't compute its own end. It computes its own understanding. And when the last calculation is complete, when entropy reaches its maximum, when the final black hole evaporates, the universe will know itself completely. And in that perfect, silent moment of total understanding, the algorithm will rest. The cosmic algorithm runs whether we understand it or not. But perhaps our understanding changes the computation itself. Perhaps consciousness is not just observing the universe's calculation, but participating in it. Every time you wonder about your place in the cosmos, you're helping the universe process its own existence. Every question you ask contributes to the final answer. You're not just watching the universe compute its own end. You're part of the computation itself. You've been thinking along with NextDecodedAI. Come back anytime the cosmic algorithm calls to you again.